Hello again YouTube, this is going to be a video deck tech of my Valakut RAM deck. This is the deck that I'm actually using in the FMM because it's worked pretty well and it's my deck of choice because of course it's a very fun deck to play. Who doesn't like to play big creature anyway? So how is this going to work is I'm going to go for the main board, explain some cards, how they work and how to not use them, and then I'll go for the lands because lands are very important in this deck, and then I'll go with the sideboard. So let's get started. First we have the standard red burn spell for lightning bolts, and then we have 2 red sun zenith. The reason why I run red sun zenith is because it's extremely good in the late game. Like when you have a Primeval Titan or 2 on the battlefield, you're going to fetch an insane amount of lands. So you're going to have a lot of mana to cast it for a very high damage. And then we have 2 Green Sun Zenith, obviously, to fetch your Primeval Titans. And then for our ramp spell, we have Free Colony Herd Expedition. I have my foil here. We have 4 Explore. So I see some people that play Explore very weird. They use it as a draw engine. So I'm just going to explain you guys now that in this deck you do not use it as a draw engine. You don't need to draw. You want to play the most land as possible. You want to have your Primeval Titan on turn 4 or at last 5. So yeah. And then we have Free Harrow. For our creature base, we have Free Oracle of Muldaya, 4 Overgrown Battleman. The reason why I choose Overgrown Battleman instead of Lotus Cobra, it's because in the metagame in my local store is very aggro, so you need to stop these Goblin Guides and other kind of aggression like Vampire. And it's also an excellent mana accelerator. Mostly when you have 2, it's like 4 mana if you tap them both. And obviously you have your 4 Primeval Titans, standard for the Valakut deck, and it's the biggest win con of the deck. And then we have our free Infernal Titan. That's for our alternate solution win con. If you cannot fetch your Primeval Titan or he get Memoricide, you can always use your Infernal Titan to swing for 9 and pump him up. So yeah, this is basically the deck. So I'll go for the land in a second. Oh, and yeah, with Primeval Titan, some people doesn't know what to fetch all the time. So you always want to fetch your 4 Valakut so they can trigger all together when you have a mountain. And if you have Far Mountain in play and 1 Valakut, and the second time you fetch with your Primeval Titan and fetch for 1 Valakut, I mean if you have 5 mountain in play, fetch 1 Valakut and 1 fetch land, so you can fetch it after so you can trigger with your 4 Valakuts. So yeah, for the land we have obviously our 4 Valakuts. I got 2 foil here. We have free Term of Expanse and free Evolving Well. Reason why we don't run the pay 1 life, it's because in the early game you'll see that we don't play a lot of forest. For early game you need to fetch your green mana, and it's also good in the late game since you don't need your green mana anymore. You can just fetch for mountains to do more damage. And we have 1 Colony Garden. Reason why we need that, it acts like our 6th green source. It gives you a 0/1 plant token. And if you have sometime you will need to, when your Primeval Titan come out, you will need this maybe you need to fetch this if the guy play vampire, since if it's only your only monster on the battlefield, if he put a gatekeeper kicked, then you can sacrifice the token instead of your Primeval Titan. And then we have our 5 forest, and then we have our 12 basic mountains. So I'll go for the sideboard in a second, just getting my lands off. So for our sideboard we have 2 Slack Storms and 4 Pyroclasm for aggro decks. Obviously I put that many Field Wiper because my meta is very aggro in my local store. I don't know for you guys, but yeah, it's extremely aggro in my local store. And we have 3 Acidic Slime and 3 Naturalized. These comes in play when some people play Turbo Fog, or maybe some decks are running by some kind of enchantment, I don't know, some shenanigan. Or against Tezzeret is good because it's artifact deck, or some other crazy artifact deck, you can also use these. And Acidic Slime can be also good against a mirror matchup because you can kill target man, you can kill their Valakut, so their trigger won't be as strong as yours. And you have 3 Cultivate. These will come play when you will fight against a control deck, because if you get mana leak your Harrow, you're going to lose a land, and that's not what you want to. So you exchange your Harrow with Cultivate when you have to fight with a control deck. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.